Hello. Some of you may already know me as an environmental scientist. But today I'm here to discuss something close to my heart. As has been often reported, I grew up in a community that practices an early form of Christianity that I prefer to call Gnosticism. In this three-part series I will be using a book called Early Christianity by Jennie Moench, and for my purpose of education, she is willing to send you the book as a free file if you email your request to the address below. In this first video, I wanted to introduce you to ancient texts that were discovered in 1945 after being buried in the Nag Hammadi area of Egypt in the mid-4th century, so we will begin this talk in the ancient city of Alexandria. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BC, it was a Greek-speaking metropolis located on the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. It became an intellectual capital, as all books that entered the port were copied and added to its magnificent library. By 290 BC, Alexandria was a hub of learning and progressive ideas. It was at this time and place that early Christian literature was written. Jesus and creation stories were imaginative and littered with Greek gods. Then, books were written in the voices of the individuals in their mythos. The Gospels of Thomas, Philip, Mark, Matthew, John, and Luke were written, and there came to be many differing Christian texts and sects, with differing points of view and ideas. At first, Rome put its nose up at the emerging Christian ideology. We have all heard about the persecution of those early Christians by the Romans. But then, in 306 AD, Constantine becomes Rome's new emperor. He was the son of a Christian woman, Bithynia. In 313 AD, Constantine declares absolute toleration of Christians and declares the cross a symbol of Christianity and requires it to be painted on the shields of his soldiers. Rome invested itself into this new Christian religion, and in 325 AD the Council of Nicaea was given the power to settle disputes within the differing Christian sections. It decided which books were to be in the official canon of the Old and New Testaments. They also developed the Apostles' Creed, which established official Roman Christian beliefs, and was a required oath. These new churches often displaced older churches. The site of a temple to Aphrodite in Golgotha was declared the site of Jesus' tomb, and the vast complex of the Holy Sepulchre was built. Then came the mobs of Roman Christian zealots, who became the scourge of progressive knowledge and all beliefs that differed from the official Roman edicts. Roman officials would visit churches and investigate their beliefs and the books used, giving warnings to amend their teachings and burn any documents not supported by the Church of Rome. Around 391 AD, they burned the libraries in Alexandria, and the last living librarian, Hypatia, was killed by a gang of Roman Christians who dragged her through the streets and murdered her. When ignorance is embraced, terror reigns. With the literature found in 1945 included documents from church officials that visited. At first, I wondered why they would go to the trouble of saving these damning documents that mock their literature and refer to the beloved Sophia as vile. Then, I realized that by including these warrants, they were telling their story. One myth that I remember hearing as a child is that the Gospels of the New Testament were written in Hebrew and Aramaic. No, Jesus was born in the Greek literature of the progressive city of Alexandria, in Egypt. In the next video, I will discuss the Gnostic creation story that starts before the Creator was born. I hope you might be interested in viewing it, and until then, I'll see you in the near future.